We here.
I said a thing. I said, well, listen, I'm not in
Like,
charge.
look, I can see you. I'm
I'm
like,
not
what
in
are
charge
you
of
doing? And I'm like,
technical.
oh, I gotta hit the button. I gotta hit the button. Today is the day I have to hit the button.
Welcome. Welcome, all, one and all.
Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome. That's all I can say is just welcome.
Look, you sitting over there like, oh my God, I can see you. I'm like,
And I
what
didn't
are
I
we
didn't
waiting
want to say
on?
a thing. I
That
didn't
would
want
be
to say a
you.
thing.
That would be me. Press.
Okay, so yeah, this situation, okay, but you know what? It's a learning experience, and as teachers, we're always open to learning new experiences. So, that's when we learn. That's all. That's all. And
Mhm.
welcome to each one of all. And let's talk about who we are. First of all, good evening. I am Denise, of the Diva D from Carved Out Divas, as well as Miss D Reed, and to my left.
One of the two. I'm April Cobb with
April's Beauty Bar.
April's Beauty Bar
Blueprint.
and the Beauty Blueprint Foundation. And today we're a little scatterbrained because we don't have our phenomenal,
Fantastic.
wonderful, handle all this stuff in the background, Bianca Gould. She is frolicking this weekend. So
Yes, frolicking, but
frolicking.
teaching for
Frolic.
the culture is our sponsor. Who she's our hostess with the mostest. She handles all of our tech, and it's just when she's not around, sometimes it's
She
just.
forces us to do the right
And
thing.
yes, she's making us learn how to do it. So yes. So April, how was your weekend? How was that so far?
For the most part, it was pretty good. Our weekend begins literally on Fridays, like on Thursdays. Our Friday is part of our weekend because Sunday goes into immediately prep day for us. So really, our weekend is Friday, Saturday. So for the most part, I had a good weekend. I had an opportunity to connect with some old Jaguars, and everybody's kind of now have moved on from being a Jag at the table. I was the only Jag remaining.
Mhm.
So it was good and to see those that had went to other schools. We kind of do it every summer. Initially, we thought we weren't going to be able to do it, but it kind of worked this way out for those that could. Everybody kind of started saying we got to, we should still do it. So we ended up doing it. So it was good to see old faces and hear some of the comical stories that occurred, like how several of them had quit many times from their current jobs and
Mhm.
realized that they had to come back this year to go back to the schools they quit from. And it was good times. It was good laughs.
Yes, that's good. That's good. Let me tell you something. First of all, I'm going to preface this by saying, mentally, we will remain young forever, but physically, that's a whole. So one thing I did this weekend, which I've been doing, but I think I overexerted myself, is I played tennis on Saturdays with some of these old guys in the park. I can't call them old, but they are older. And then immediately after, I had to go take my mentorship. We were going roller skating. Well, I think what I did was one activity too many. So you know how you could have stuck with one and then rested for the rest of the day and give somebody a chance to catch up. Let me tell you something. When I woke up this morning, you remember the old songs, the song where I used to say, "This morning when I rose," I didn't have no doubt. Well, I had a plenty of doubts this morning when I when I woke up because everything was creaking and just you ever heard of creaks? Oh, I have to sit down for a minute and process the fact that in my mind, I'm 25 years old, but my body,
My
real
body is telling me no.
24. I was now, you don't want to admit that you're middle aged, but you're middle aged. You're middle aged. Let's just say that. So, I
Well,
just
I've been feeling middle age pain now for a few months, and it's no fun.
it
I
ain't.
will say that I went to two of my doctor's appointments, for annual checkups this year, and it became a point of I can remember some of the things that my grandmother was saying. I was sitting there like it was like a reminiscent moment saying, I remember my grandmother used to say,
Mhm.
such and such feel like it's killing me, such and such feel like it's broken, such and such feel like, and then to get up where your whole legs got to be wide and bend down to get up and brace them knees. I was like,
Yes,
oh my God, is this what it has become? And unfortunately, but fortunately, it has.
Yeah, right. And we still here. So, we have, I
And
guess
we run around with children.
the benefit of that is, that, you have wisdom. It combined with a little bit of aging, you have wisdom. But let me tell you something, ain't nothing worse than when you're standing around and you think you're doing great, and all of a sudden a hot flash just hits you like,
Oh my God. Listen. That is such an irritable feeling, like when you sweating from the top of your head
to the
to the
soles of your
bottom
feet.
of your feet. It feels like fire. It's just you're melting. And no one can understand it until they experience it. And it's not a good
Correct.
feeling.
Correct.
So
I
I
mean,
will say that that's going to be regulated for me in a couple of weeks because I've had enough. I
because
said, okay, I ain't gonna take this. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I've
because
tried natural
God,
anyway.
God in His infinite wisdom made a woman just a wonderful creature. But he could have slid a couple of things off the plate. We're in the process of creation. I'm just saying. I didn't need it. Do you know I have the AC? And April knows, been to my house several times, knows that I don't keep that AC cold. But the AC
No.
is freezing, and I have two fans on. You should know.
I sleep with one right here in the face and the ceiling fan.
I just what? Oh, okay. So anyway, starting off with that, let's just run into the. We were supposed to be on last week, but we just so many things were going on. In particular, Juneteenth. We're prepping for Juneteenth. So let's talk for a moment about how that went with our East Tampa Brain Booster Summer Camp and how the Juneteenth events went from your perspective. Able to talk about it.
Well, I think overall it went really well. The kids definitely enjoyed and embraced the individuals that they studied, for the small frame of time that we had to prep for the event.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, summer camp just started and it was like, okay, in a week, here we go, get ready. But I will say that they embraced it, they enjoyed it. It definitely displayed the necessity for this type of education to be embedded in everyday learning for our children. And if parents don't take the time to do it, we know clearly it's not going to happen in the public school setting unless they have a teacher that's very intentional about doing so. And the reality is that's just not the reality. So I enjoyed it. I thank those individuals that came out. Special thank you to Alicia for making those connections as one of our board members for the Beauty Blueprint Foundation. For those individuals to come in, there was Lynn Hertech, our city councilwoman, and then there was also Kelly Paris. I think I'm saying wrong. Kelly Parrish. I might be saying it wrong, from the Children's Board. So again, I favorite
Pastor Buster came out as well.
Buster. And again, my pastor, peeked through and kept it going because he's doing a lot of work with trying to get things done before he takes back on his 4-wall job, Monday through Friday. So he kind of peeked in and kept it going because he had individuals that were meeting him there at the church. But again, it was great. And everybody that have peeked in to see the room, that want to go in the room from church, like, hey, go in. They're like, what's going on in there? What's all that stuff going on in there? But they haven't been allowed to go in. They love it. They enjoy it, which means that we have to be intentional as a people and as a community to expose our children to events like that. So there are several churches in the community, and you can also capture and gather artifacts over the years and make it happen. It don't have to be nothing big and extravagant. You will be amazed how the kids still enjoy it just as much.
Mm-hmm.
I
I agree with that. I know, and then piggybacking exactly off of what you said. I mean, a lot of the artifacts that we collected at our school, we were able to get them from people in the community. And remember, if you got anybody around you that's older than 60, they've got some stuff in their house. Now, you have to beg very nicely and ask, listen, it's on loan and I won't, return it to you. But they have things. Some people have magazines and newspaper covers from those actual decades of time, those historical moments in time. And it's amazing what people can gather just to teach the youth. Remember, you have things in your home you could teach the youth about. So just never be hesitant about sharing that information out there. And just like April said, there's a lot of churches out there. Everyone could have had a Juneteenth display to allow the community to come in and take a look at it and learn your history, because we do not see that being taught in schools, and especially the origin. And I mean, a lot of the origin of this historical date, which by the way was just became a federal holiday in 2021, but a lot of the origin is not being taught. And so it's just, and if worst case scenario, what you got to do is take everything you got from Black History Month in February and go ahead and recycle it around and add your Juneteenth to it. It's just great. So I really believe the kids did take a lot from it. They really enjoyed it. They were happy to participate. They all wanted to be particular people in history. And so, just now with forethought, now we can go forward adding more depending on how many more kids do come to camp. So it's just, I think it was just a great experience for them. And remember, like I said, it was only we're only in the third week. Are we in the fourth week now of summer? We're in the fourth week of summer, and they did a very good job for such a short space of time. So I was very, very pleased about that. And so I'm again thanking Pastor Hawkins again for the space, for creating that available space for us. And also we we give a shout out to, we're still in the lookout for more buses. Let's put that out there, put the plug out there. We're grateful for New Rebirth, that have provided the bus for us these past 3 weeks. So we want to say that again, if you have the time, you have the space, and you have the bus availability, please link up with us, send us a message, shoot us a comment. We will be glad to hear from you. Okay.
Now, because our group is maxed out at 25, we may have a couple of drop-ins every now and then. But for the most part, our field trip, if we had 2 of the vans, that would definitely get us where we need to be. So again, if you have the capacity to share your church vehicle to be capable of helping us have less stress with wondering how we're going to get our kids places, that would be greatly appreciated, because this time next year, we will have our own van. That's without question. So therefore, we would just need someone else to accompany us. But I claim it, I receive it. I look, speaking in the atmosphere, we'll have our own
correct
form of transportation on next year to be capable of transporting. And I'm seeing it even before then, so that we can transport our girls to back and forth to the different events that we have them for. Underneath the Beauty Blueprint Foundation, you have housed 2 mentorship programs for girls. You have the Blueprint for Girls, and you have Carved Out Divas. So therefore, we do some things collaboratively, and then we do a lot of things, independent of each other, because we serve 2 different demographic of kids as it relates to location where they live. So therefore, it's a need. It's been a need. We've been talking about it. There's several things we've been talking about. So let's talk about that good old person that's no longer at the leadership of
exactly. So what I can say right now is visit, like, and share. All you need to do is keep on sharing. Repost, because it's going to go out in the atmosphere. It's going to go out there in the ether. It's going to be out there in the internet. Someone, somewhere, on the goodness and kindness of their heart, is going to talk to that person. What the guy said in the video? The man sitting next to the man, sitting next to the man. That's the one that's going to be able to get us up where we need to go. So we just
exactly.
we have faith. We have faith in God too. First of all, that's first and foremost going to happen. Why is my alarm going off? Between the alarm and Mama calling Mama. I'll call it back. Okay. So listen. So while we have been out and about, and like I said, we missed last week, but several things have happened during the past week or so. We're going to start off at the top of what affects us first and foremost, is the fact that we are still in the school system. We have a brand new, well, let's not say brand new. Our superintendent has decided to jettison from the Hillsborough County school system. I mean, I can't think of another word to use other than jettison, because reason why I use that word, remember again, language arts, I'm an English major, is because it was a rapid departure. It wasn't a year-long departure. It wasn't, I got to take a couple months to clean this stuff out. It wasn't like, I needed to, inform everybody and then, write a bunch of goodbye letters. And no, that was a jettison, because in just 2 weeks or almost 3 weeks from now, he'll literally be gone. So, because July 4th, is it July 14th or July 15th? I believe it was.
It's the 15th, and I'm pretty sure he has a lot of bank time. So I'm wondering if that's just kind of, you using up some of that bank time. So really, are you here, or are you just here prepping heirs for the position that he already been doing for the most part anyway.
Right.
And you know what? God has a way of just kind of showing up and, reminding you to be a little bit more attentive, because Denise and I were at Mosey on Thursday.
Yes. No, Friday. It was Friday night.
But
Oh no,
no,
we were there Thursday and
it
Friday.
was
That's right.
Thursday.
Yes.
And we didn't stood all by this collaborative works of the board of directors and all these different people. And we didn't even see it. So on Friday we went to an event, the Mosey After Dark, and we will put a plug in there. That's a very nice event for you to attend. Very inexpensive for adults. It's a very nice event. We've been to a couple at this point, but check it out. Go to Mosey website and go to Mosey After Dark, and they have one once a month, and it goes from 6 to 8:30, or is it 6 to 9? Okay, 6 to 9, and it has an opportunity to visit different restaurants that provide vendor service at the Mosey Museum, and you can do all the activities at the museum while you're there, except for the outdoor things. They don't have those up and going. And then they have drink stations, all that good stuff. So again, some good, quiet adult fun, and we enjoy it every time we go. So it's good.
Mm-hmm. But what were you going back to saying about?
I was going saying all that to say this. So
yes.
We was there Friday, and I was standing over there next to the area where all these pictures. When I look, I said, "Is it the guy that's getting ready to be the interim superintendent?" And yes, it was. It was Ken Ayers. I'm like, we didn't even see this yesterday. And she was like, "Nope, not at all."
Because we weren't paying attention.
She seen stuff she thought wasn't there yesterday.
I was.
So this wasn't here yesterday. Yes, ma'am, it was.
But I was wrangling children, so that's my excuse. I mean, I remember I had the littlest ones. Each of us took a group, and we were evenly divided out. So my group just happened to be the smallest ones, and those small ones are busy. Can I just tell you that? And listen, so things I didn't notice on Thursday, I was able to then notice again on Friday, because I was like, okay, listen, listen, they move quick, okay.
Everything they do is running.
Oh yeah, run and scream. That's what little kids do. Run and scream.
Yes.
That's and then eat. but yeah. So I think it was the Van Ears, right? He is now the interim superintendent, and like I say, he's
been call that man all the way Ken.
Yeah, Ken. I don't know what.
Sorry, man.
All right. But he's been behind the scenes running things, and so we're gonna see how it goes from here. I think the assistant superintendent also is currently seeking another position as well. So, and we're going to see where this goes, because remember when Davis left us with boundary changes, which the board approved of, left us with school closures, which the board approved of. So therefore, I mean, what I have to say is to parents, be prepared. Start being prepared. Now that we know with the boundary changes, they're not going into effect until next year. However, you need to be prepared now, because where you think your child might be going from going from 5th to 6th grade, pay attention, because things will change. So, and of course, what they're going to do when they say repurpose, what are they going to do with these schools that we're going to repurpose? That's the real question that's out there. What is going to happen? So, what's your thoughts on that, April? Because I really don't know.
I kind of have stopped being in tune or in the know of what's going on with that after they made their decision as it related to just and disregarded what the community voice was bringing forth from the people about the people that is going to impact. And it just, to me, was disregarded. There was no need for me to kind of stay, in the know about that. I'm learning in this new way of life that if I cannot help make a change for the better and don't have a voice in the matter, then I don't need to know. It's just a waste of time. So that's what I've been doing. I just kind of been focusing, like with the camp, we've been completely focusing on that, what we are in control of, what we're not, and that's it. And as it relates to this upcoming school year, I'm gonna focus on what I'm going to do, what's in my capacity, and what I'm not going to do. It's just that simple. And unfortunately, if we as a group of professionals think we were in trouble before as it relates to being told what you can do, what you can't do, when to do it, how to do it as a teacher, as a professional, If we don't sustain that union, and a lot of us refer to it as a weak union or a non-union, a non-working union, whatever you want to call it, it was something. If we don't meet those numbers, you think you had a rough time. All hell gonna break loose then. That's the facts. So again, some of us on our way out, so we'll just lay low and make it happen, But some of y'all on your way in, or some of y'all midpoint, and you're not concerned about this union, you better get concerned.
Yeah. Well, the first step they did is they came back in and they had a meeting and they told us, everybody, that the dues are no longer coming out your check. You got to pay them dues separately. And we're like, okay, what? So what we saying here? Okay, all right. So you got to monitor your money. That's first and foremost, because I mean, you really want to pay attention to that. And then just as the changes are taking place about what you like what you can and cannot teach and what you can and cannot say, things like that. Just be cautious. Just be aware. Just they always say the thieves creeping in the night. They doing too much things to you that you need to be very, very conscious of. And then of course for us in reading, the curriculum is changing yet again. Standards. I mean, it's just a mess, and you know what? I always find ironic that you're going to change over and over and over again. People are becoming wary of. Oh, we're gonna drag you in during the summer to do a whole bunch of courses. Let me tell you something. Since y'all can't make up your mind, I too will not be making up my mind about going to those summer courses. I mean, what's the point? What is the point? You're going to change it again in the beginning of the year. You're going to change it in the middle of the year. You're going to change it at the end of the year. So, I mean, I'm gonna do it just like how you did me during COVID. I'm going to do y'all just the same exact way. I'm going to build a plane as I fly, because clearly, even during the summer, they're making changes. So it's like, well, what is the point of taking a whole bunch of class? Even though, and here's the draw. You know how you throw out the fishing rod? Oh, we're going to pay you. What you paying me is not... I wish you could have do the... Anyway, but what you paying me, it ain't even worth the time. And we're talking about class. There you go. Just look, what you are paying me is not worth the time, because you're talking about classes that are 8 hours long online. Let me tell you,
once the taxes hit it, just forget it.
First of all,
I have learned my mental is worth way more.
No,
way more than that.
No. I'm an adult, and I cannot sit for an 8-hour online class. You even though you expected these children to do it, I'm a fully functional, I would consider myself fairly intelligent adult. And after 25 minutes, if I can't stand up and walk away from the computer and then say things to you like you need the camera on, let me tell you, the camera will never be on. First of all, you'll be looking at a cup of coffee, and by lunchtime, a glass of wine, because let me tell you something, I'll be so sick and tired of y'all on this online class. Okay, so no, that'll be a no to that. Thank you. We'll pass on that. I mean, just again, the curriculum will change. Something new gonna happen, and we're just gonna keep that moving. That's all.
Provide those trainings, during the school year on those Mondays. We could do, because at that point you can only hold me there for an hour at max, and
right,
spread it out. I'm willing to do that, but don't tie up my summer with all these trainings when we went through hell and high water. To get that raise
that you taxed us anyway, Aldo. Tax to oblivion. I could have paid my mortgage twice with what you snatched like a bad weave. Oh, take flight.
Right.
Oh, check.
So we're going to decline on any trainings this summer outside of something that intrigues us to a space that we are interested and self-motivated.
Right. So unless the only thing I really want is a CPR class, I'll take that. Now
that's connected to the coins.
That's life saving. Okay,
that's connected to the coins.
That's that CPR is important. Now, don't put me on a CPR task committee at work. I ain't saving nobody left, but I just want the certificate. That's pretty much what I want. Just give me that part, because at least for myself, I can save myself if absolutely necessary. The elders around me, folk in church, I can do that. But but give me that. That's the one that I really care about. That's it. But speaking of which, no. See, when we tie these classes to this money, we gotta look at the overall fact that it's still not enough. And then what I mean by that, drawing that particular line, what I mean by that is look at what the price of housing is right now. And these, I just read an article that one state is paying They're tying the housing to employment for bringing teachers into their state or whatever like that. But when we look at it around here, now I got a letter in the mail, and because these people getting real bold. Okay, so I got a message in my text message. The guy said, I understand, that are you willing to sell your home? I saw your home. No, this is how he prefaced it. I saw your home on Zillow, and I'd like to make an offer. First of all, when I looked up my house on Zillow, it said not for sale. That's what it. And I promptly texted back and said, "Well, did you? I mean, you seem like you're intelligent enough. If you could read, you should have been able to read that it said not for sale. So why would you even bother me?" But see, because everybody wants to come into these areas, these spaces like that. I said, but what you're offering is not even near what. How is that benefiting me? Because I want millions, because of the way you're also desperately bothering me for this piece of property. I need the coins that you're willing to lay down for houses that you build in brand new. 465 in East Tampa, 490 in East Tampa, $500,000 in East Tampa. So why you coming at me with 2 and change? 2 and change sound like shoe shine money. What that is? So I'm gonna say this to all of the people, the realtors and all the stuff like that. Don't think that every Black person in the East Tampa area is dumb enough to let go of their house for those little bit of coins. We ain't that dumb. We some of us have intelligence, and then some of us have degrees, so we do understand, cost of living, debt to income ratio.
Yeah, you got to be desperate to pull a situation like that, and then you will be where you gonna live at, because it surely won't be in Tampa. It will not be in Tampa.
Because you can clearly see the demographics of the city will change, and it is changing. Because if you're looking and seeing, well, wait, all these people are moving out this neighborhood, and all these other people are moving into the neighborhood, and diversity, of course, this is what we preach. Diversity is a good thing. However, not at the cost of losing your whole. That's all your family has. Remember, property will always increase in value, unless you let it completely fall apart. But property will increase in value. So please start teaching your children that hold on to a piece of property. Especially once that property is paid off, all you got now left is taxes once a year. And it's like, where are people going? I mean, and then I think did you post something the other day where you were showing a house was 460 something? Now was it 4 bedrooms? I think it was 4. The rent, I think, was 2. It was an oddity because of the fact that the rent was $2,000 for a 4-bedroom house. So that's what made it an oddity, right? Because most of the time right now you could find a 1-bedroom for $1,900. 1,800, stuff like that. So that was the oddity. But
even with that, that's just because you added a wall somewhere, because the house is not big as mine. Wow. It's the same. You just added a wall in order to make that language say the 4-bedroom. I mean, you took away from some of that living room space because you opened up the kitchen area. Like I've been in the home. It's a nice home, but again, who can afford that? It'd have to be somebody coming in, not somebody that's already here.
Right.
And that's what we're finding that's happening in our community where the house is listed at Terrace Park, is that the transition of people that's coming into the community, they're not from Florida,
right,
at all. They're from up north, around the globe. They and I have arrived. And you could definitely see the shift in the community with a lot of people that's just what we call the walkers. They just walk in. What you walking to look for, what you walking to see. Right. Yes, it may be for your health, but normally when you walk on the walking strips that's right. on 46 and not throughout the community. So it's been interesting to see the transition and all the Airbnbs that's popping up in the communities. And I have no problem with Airbnbs. I get it. But for the owners that have Airbnbs, please be mindful how you market them, because you go home to your gated communities and you're allowing us to strangers every other day. That's dangerous for our children. So it's just definitely something to put parameters and security measures in place to where not only it protects your property, but it protects your former neighbors.
Yes. So. Yeah, that's extremely important. That's true. I mean, because as you see people walking around and wandering, and my thing is, when they're coming from different areas, it's like my sister who lives in Dallas. It's like she said everybody she knows is not from Dallas. Everyone in the neighborhoods are now. So it's like here in Tampa, you looking around, I don't think I think on my block you may have maybe two people that were originally from Tampa, but it's like, wow, okay, where everybody coming in. So but my question is, where are these jobs, or are they all coming in like self-made? Because the salaries, what you see off of the salaries here in Tampa, they're not accommodating these rents. So like if you're gonna get that house that has 4 bedrooms, you need to have at least 4 people living in the house, 4 people who are working, 4 people who have full-time jobs that can afford to pay that rent. And it's sad because for us, we kind of lucked out way back in the day getting the houses before the market starts skyrocketing, and then of course the interest rate has gone up again. And so it's like, man, what yeah. Yeah, I just, all I can say is just good luck, God bless, because it's going to get hard, and that's something that needs to be taught to our children, which is why I think that they should bring back things like finance in school. I mean, in middle school, because as you see, as schools change, like for example, our old school, DW Waters, which is now what they call it, a medical academy now, which used to be online learning, whatever it was, but all the stuff they need to bring back to school. Out of all the things, one of them definitely should be like finance courses. They should bring back home ec. They need to bring back things that are realistic, that help children manage as they go forward along in life. And so, and dealing with life, we talking about this right here. The fact that a lot of people gonna end up staying at home with their parents for a long, long time, and there's nothing wrong with it because of what's happening with the economy, what's happening with housing. So just be prepared. Prepare your children and prepare them for that mindset. Okay. That's all I got to say about that. Now, our children. Okay, have you been seeing well, besides all the things that have been happening to youth in the communities, right? There are kids that are missing. Now, parents were going to ask this question: where are your children right now? Remember, there's a commercial in the 90s that used to say, it's 10 p.m. Where are your children? We just want you to look around. Just look to the left, to the right, inside your own home. Where are your children right now? Because within the past 2 weeks, we've seen, kids get arrested, kids get, confiscating cars, kids get, kids are getting in trouble. And it picks up highly on the weekends. During the weeks, a lot of times they'll find things, there may be programs or activities and things for them to do. But on the weekend, for some reason, it's like, is it anybody watching them? Anybody's seeing them? I remember, these are middle schoolers. These are little kids. The last kids that I personally witnessed got in trouble were middle school kids, little teeny tiny kids. I'm like, where are the adults? We have to do a better job, and that means collectively in keeping an eye on our children.
And that goes back to we often say it takes a village. Well, if the parents are at work, but the same parents may not necessarily want you to say something to their children to help correct them when they're doing wrong. We have to get a lot of things back in order to be able to say, how do we collectively make sure that our children are safe when we are not at home? Because a lot of the parents are at work. They're doing what's necessary to keep food on the table and a roof over their heads for not only themselves, but for the most part, it may be other siblings at home. So I get it. It's always a hard topic for me to kind of, weigh in on, because I know for a fact when my grandmother was raising myself and my sibling, that, she always was at work. So, and my aunts and all of them, they worked as well. And, the boys, my uncle, them, they was doing their own things, with their friend girls. So it just was a matter of, you come in the house, you lock the door, you do as you're told, you stay in, let in my house, yeah, that whole scenario. Parents have lost that in touch of what I ask you to do, what I tell you to do it. And the reason why you need to follow through with it, because if you do not, it can bring about, harm to the family, or bring about separation, you being put into custody, with foster care and all this other stuff. But now it's just like everybody's figuring out for their own, or fending for themselves. And that includes the children, because grandma is not grandma. Big mamas are not doing it. They're not. They're done. Big mamas are my age now, and we're not having it. We're not.
Yeah, we were the latchkey kid generation, but
Right.
we were the latchkey kid generation that had fear. You you better make sure that chicken came out the freezer before your mother came home. We were of that generation that, listen, when she said lock the door. But at the same time, we also had respect for elders. So if anybody came around and that was your family and told you, okay, your ABCD, you they would do we would do it, we'd follow that. Now, just like you said, it's kind of hard to be that, just be that adult and like I may see kids outside on the block, and I'll say, hey, listen, a car coming, just move out the way. And sometimes they'll respond, or sometimes they'll just want to flip you off. It's like, do you know I just told you something for your safety? I'm doing that because I care. I didn't say that tell you come in the house, and I'm trying to get you to make sure that you're, tell you something for your safety. So, and then of course parents too, sometimes the parents will be like, why are you talking to my child? I said, well, if you stop for a moment and process what I said logically, you realize I'm caring about the very same child you let walk behind you, and a whole car is speeding down the road. So, and that always gets me when you see kids coming out the car and just running, and the parents are way behind. I'm like, that kid little, right? You want to hold on to their hand or something like that, but just watch them, but that's what's so hard about society now, is like you want to tell somebody something for their benefit, but you what's the repercussion that you get? How a lot of people don't take what you're trying to show as kindness as something pleasant. So I guess, but of course you have to look at it from the perspective too, that some people have been harmed in their life, and so they just take, or they take everything negatively. They don't know how to process anything that you're saying as positive. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just wish that it was more how back in the day it was, when everybody could say something and the child would just be like, okay, yes ma'am, no ma'am, okay, and just move on. But I guess, like I say, I don't know. I don't know about that. What you got? Did somebody say, hey Gretchen? See Gretchen on there?
Yes, I can see Gretchen. I also see that Erlisha and Pansy are watching.
Hey.
Hello, good people out there in this good world on this phenomenal Sunday. So yeah, it's just different now. And I get, because if we sit back and think when our parents were saying the same thing at this current moment in their lives, to say things are different now. So it's the
Mm-hmm.
same for us, but I could not imagine having arrived at this place to where kids are just so blatantly, they desensitized to what's going on around them in the world, to a place that they don't feel the need to earn any type of respect. It's the mentality of, you got to earn my respect,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
while I'm teaching you, I'm earning your respect. While I'm
Right.
helping you, I'm earning your respect. The respect would just flow mutually if you just do what you're asked.
And recognize that what their place is. So a lot of them don't realize. I said, do you realize that you're in school as a child? Like I had to actually stop a class one time and explain to a child. The child said, I'm grown. I said, okay. I said, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna go in my bag right now. I'm gonna get my keys, put my purse over the crook of my arm, and I'm gonna leave school. And guess what? No one can stop me, because you know why? I'm grown. I said, now, in order for you to leave school, guess what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to get a pass from me. You're gonna have to walk to the office. You're gonna have to call your mama. And then an adult has to pick you up and get you out
Sign
of
you
school,
out.
sign you up. I
Sign
said,
you
so
out.
so out of the two of us, I want you to explain to me which one of us is actually grown. I said, this is the reason why I can tell you what to do in class and why you need to listen. Now, I said, no, I've explained this for the whole class, not just for you, but for the whole class, so that y'all can get off of this mentality that I'm going to talk to adults however I want. I had to give you an actual example. And this is what's so thing. As I go into the next school year, this is my mentality for next school year. I really want to sit down and have conversations, like, and when the parents are coming in for open house and things like that. And I'm gonna emphasize, because I didn't think I emphasized it strongly enough last year. Emphasize this partnership situation, because the only time I get these conversations about partnership is when there's a conflict that's occurring between me and the child. But I need to do that at open house, the very first day, the first meet the teacher day, whatever it is, because I need you to understand, whether it's a good news I have for you, whether it's bad news I have for it, we in this together, and together we have to be able to make a stronger impact on this child's accepting of the rules, the regulation, how timeliness of their schoolwork, their ability to do just follow instruction. Man, our kids have a hard time following instruction. And they literally think that you're supposed to just do for them. I mean, how many times a year, April, have you heard, or the past year, I need a pencil. I need $1 million because
And that is my response to most of them often, because they enter the space not understanding the just you don't just you're making demands of with your needs. That's not how you ask. You're making demands with your needs must be met in order for me to do what I need to do when there's already an expectation before I arrive. So it's just a matter of shifting those mindsets. I know the group that we're working with this summer, they're definitely going to go in prepare in that area, because number one, we don't stop to have a conversation about it. We quickly address it. I need you. No. When you're ready to ask me the right way, then we'll move forward. But I'm going to keep moving over here with, Jane and Jill over here, because they understood what the assignment was, and therefore they met the expectations. So you move forward with those as meeting the expectations.
Right.
But again, we do have to leave window or space for children to enter into the new school year, not necessarily coming with those skill sets to be able to understand the difference between an ask and a demand.
And I like the whole that may I and versus can I. Can I do this? Well,
Yeah, I don't know what you can do now.
Right. But may I go here, and may I do this, and may I mean, just simple things. I mean, you'd be amazed at how a shift in the mindset can make it ease in the classroom. So, I mean, and when no one wants to think of this parent, no one wants to come into battle every day. If you think about your own life, you don't want to get up and go to work and be angry every single day. So, let's when we provide that safe space for our children, we want them to feel completely safe, but we also don't want to have to go and be engaged in battle with them every single day. It's like, come on, just just listen, just know your role. Just like I'm trying to stay in my lane in school year. This year, this is my lane. I'm
I started that last year. I got so far in the lane, and they was like, "Can you help me?" And then I'd be like, "Oh, no, I can't." Ask such and such because they the team lead or the guidance counselor or this, that, or whatever. Let me.
I just once I realized last school year. Once I realized, okay, y'all playing favorites around here. Okay, I realized. Let me just stay in my lane and close my door.
Shut the door.
Shut the door.
Shut the door.
When stuff pop out on the outside, I just do the door like this. I just creak out like this. What happened? Something happened out there? Oh, you mean tell me what I told you what was going to happen? Well, let me just go ahead and close it back. Just close it right back. Right. That's again. So when we that's my lane. I'm gonna stay right there, and I'm gonna be right there. And that's how it's gonna be.
And you know what happens with that? Then individuals that realize the much that you do, that don't sound like it's that much, when you start doing nothing but what you are required to do. That is to teach those children. And then those children become our children, and then we just focus on our children.
Right.
If they're not in my class, yes, if you're in the grade level, you good. But if you're outside my grade level, maybe I taught you before, I'm going to remind you, go over there with your new group over there. Right. I taught you last year. And so therefore, I love you dearly, but I need you to go to class. Don't visit me over here now. Nope. Catch me in the morning, or downstairs by where we in passing, but don't leave your good hallway to come over here and talk with me, because what I'm not gonna do is write that good pass to go back.
No, because kids will get you in trouble. Because remember, they listen, when they want to do what they want to do, they're gonna quickly put your name and stuff. I'm like, look, I had kids who, and they knew they didn't like being around me, but but because my name had a little bit of weight, all of a sudden it's like, let me put your name on this pad. I'm like, how? Wait a minute, you don't even like being in my classroom. So how? But the pass looked valid because they knew if there was a pass from me, clearly that meant you were allowed to go supply. Like, no, sis, no, don't put my name on the pass. Don't do it. But that's kids will try to take advantage. But again, we want to be able to work together with parents. We want to work with admin. We want everybody to start off on a clean slate this year. Let's start with a clean slate.
And you could definitely start that by knowing the first day of school, and the calendar is already out there. The outline calendar for the district is already out there. You don't have to look too far in your phone in the search bar. You could just type HCPS 23-24 calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So you already have the basics.
And caught unaware, or kids shouldn't be showing up to school 5 days after it starts, because we keep constantly trying to tell you we need to count more than ever this year. because your governor has opened up the floodgates and allowed the charters to take over. So because of that, we need every human being that's coming to a public school to be there that first day, because those first 5 day, 10 day, and then 20 day count make all the difference in the world. Because we're already mentally prepared to teach. We lost units last year. We are mentally prepared to teach more than one prep. I already know. I already know I'm going to walk in there and probably have most eighth grade and probably a seventh grade class. I already know that because of what's happening, because we start seeing enrollment. And by the way, our open enrollment window, I guess, oh man, that's one thing I forgot to write down, but I will post it under this when I go back and get the dates again. But we have another magnet open enrollment for us, and we need to catch everybody in this next window. Again, we're over here at Young Middle Magnet, offer good old MLK. And so please go ahead, go apply, do the magnet window, do that. And parents, again, also, if your child haven't, I talked to every last one of my eighth graders. If your child hasn't gotten into a high school by now, I'm concerned. What have you been doing? Because up to the day of the dance, talking about I don't know where I'm going. Well, you don't know where you're going. It's we had the 24th day of May, and school was over. It would be over in 2 days. And how you don't know where you're going? Please be aware. Please be aware of what's going on and where you're gonna place your child next year. And be aware again also of the boundary changes for the following year. Okay, and also verify that your child has transportation, because apparently one of the big keywords, the buzzwords, was that these boundaries are changing due to transportation or the lack thereof. So please, all I can say to you one more time is please verify that your child has transportation, that you know that what school your child is going to. If your child requires a uniform, start searching for them uniforms now. Don't wait till the last minute, get a compares. Do what you need to do to make sure your child is ready. Please get them school supplies. And believe me, all over there's a gazillion backpack school bag giveaways. And one thing we're going to recommend to you, April, I've been saying this, if you get the backpack, store the backpack away. Store it away. Because if you get a backpack now or in July, those supplies going to be gone the first day of school. Because the kids going to go reach in the bag, oh, pencils, I'm going to color markers, crayons, stuff. That's going to be gone. So take it, put it away, then hand it back to them on the first day of school. Because it's amazing to me how kids, I've seen kids at actual backpack giveaways, and they walk in the door talking about, I ain't have no supplies. How? I was right there with you. I was 2 people behind you in the line. How? So.
And I will say, for those that, we don't have time to look up the first day of school, the first day of school is Thursday, August the 10th. Say it with me. The first day of school is Thursday, August the 10th. And one more time for the people in the back. The first day of school for Hillsborough County Public School students is Thursday, August the 10th. If your child is school is a uniform school, Old Navy, J.C. Penney, Children's Place, Kohl's, you name it, they currently have a very good sale on uniform polos and bottoms. Currently, I know because I have knocked out 3 out of the 4 children. I only got 1 child, and everything he need, them people provided. So I don't know how I'm stuck with it. Hey, glory to God. Glory to God that I'm able. Let me put it on out there. Woo! Because every time I'm reminded, I'll be like, woo, this ain't my life. If you talking, you on straight mute. I don't know what you're saying, why you're saying it, what's going on.
I am so sorry, April. I was saying, first of all, just saying amen and glory to God. Then the second thing I was saying was, yes, April has made a great comprehensive list. And then thank you also, Gretchen, for putting the date right there on our feed.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you, Gretchen. Because listen, parents, listen, the August 10th, that's more than a month from now. You ain't telling me you can't find. And you know what? While you're there building up your school list, please buy you a sweater. It's summertime now, which means lightweight jackets are only $5 to $10. I was at Old Navy or the Gap or wherever it is, and I found
they have uniform bottoms.
A whole entire bubble jacket. Them warm. We went to Alaska with them bubble jackets and Denver for $10. So I'm telling you like this: if you buy them now in the summertime, kids won't be coming to school in January in blankets that they're gonna confiscate when they walk in the door. I
And
mean, come
Alicia
on.
reminded me that also Walmart and Target. I don't
Yes.
know why I forgot about. I had a brain.
Yes. Walmart
I didn't
definitely.
remember about Walmart, but
Yes.
yes, they all currently have uniforms on deck right now, all
Mhm.
sizes that you need. Do not wait till 11:59 saying, I didn't know. What you didn't know. School starts every year in August, and it's totally understandable if you don't have. That's a different situation.
Mhm.
That's a totally different situation. But if you don't have, don't wait till the last
Last
minute.
minute.
Start soliciting individuals to see if, or an organization to see if your children could be anonymously placed out there in the atmosphere for
Mhm.
people to sponsor your children.
Exactly. And then on top of that,
And we do it all the time. We do it all the time.
thank you.
Now
And
we ain't buying no Jordans.
wait, no,
We'll buy
you
some
get what
durable
Walmart got.
shoes, and
Yep.
we understand the middle schoolers and the older ones. You know, they want a brand. We'll get a brand of Reebok, Adidas, something like that. But what we're not doing is making no type of accommodations for a $200 pair of shoes.
Right. Right.
Look, go get somebody else to do it.
Right. But also,
Because you won't be snatching our money
thank you.
from out of our pockets like that. Just snatching it.
Right. Get them. Just like that. It's snatched. Oh, the whole claw on your face, the whole claw. But even at our school, we have $5 and $10 shirts. No, we think we have $5 shirts and $10 jackets or something like that. So even if it came down to the fact that you registered late, we sell them the uniform right there on our campus. It's like, there you go. Just for while you coming in, bring $20 to get this kid covered. Okay, so understand it's there, but just be informed, meaning that when you go to register your child, find out if it's a uniform school, get every document you need, and please read everything too. I can't tell you every time. Fair would tell me he didn't know. I said, well, your signature and his signature is right here in the bottom of this form that says he knew about the cell phone policy. But where's a whole nother thing? Anyway, listen, I ain't got nothing else to add other than hey, we're still in summer camp. Our East Tampa Brain Booster Summer Camp is still in session. We had a wonderful time with our outings, especially the kids really enjoyed it, and I just I'm always amazed at our ability to swivel, as April said, to pivot, and knowing that upcoming, the weather does change, so we were able to do a lot of outdoor activities, but this rain has been giving us a little bit of a setback, but we will we continue to thrive and move on, because that's what teachers do. Teachers know how to change and adjust a plan at the last minute.
And we definitely want to continue to give a shout out and brand recognition to Milagros with I don't know, with Dr. Not doctor, I keep saying, with Reverend Millie. She does such a phenomenal job with the children with sound bowl therapy. Listen, this past Tuesday, the kids came in all rambunctious, all over the place. They all had their own mats this session. And we want to thank everyone, tremendously for making sure that all of our students have mats. Some of them you all will be like, well, where the mat I ordered because it's not in the video. Well, some of y'all mats was beach mats where they took up all the space, so we had to repurpose them for usage of something else. Mm-hmm. And we got the mats that was designed for the type of space that we have. But trust me, they are being used definitely in a capacity where it is a need that's being met. So I will say this. I will say that the children came in very rambunctious, but by the time they left out of the room, they had fallen into such a deep sleep during the sound bowl therapy. We had to go and wake them up because they were out. It was a different type of sleep too. Mm-hmm. They was waking up looking like, okay, what's going on?
Like they've been asleep for hours, yes. And that's good, because that for them, imagine I was talking about earlier how just having that moment to decompress. A lot of our kids don't have that opportunity to be still. We're always so busy. How can you be still? And they need that to quiet their mind. Their mind is constantly racing. Remember, this is a mind that's filled with a cell phone, images from a phone, games, videos, crazy music, and they just like, okay, I can actually still my mind in such a way that I can actually get into a restful state. That is an amazing thing to see, first of all. And then to know that their body is like, their body is like, what's they say, the body is actually healing itself from all of that self-imposed trauma sometimes that they're putting on there. 'Cause remember, if you look at some of the things that kids look at on their own phones, they giving themselves traumatic experiences.
Yes, it's so overstimulated. And I will say this, that it's very important that you start to wean them off of the technology well before the day or the night before school starts.
Yes.
The practice run in every household should be, if possible, the week before. But the technology weaning should be 2 weeks before.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will have become, some of them, one live in my house, so attached to technology to where they don't even realize that they're just needed to be attached to it. Mm-hmm. To where I just take them sometimes and put them in the drawer and be like, they're just there for a few days. And the number of times they come and ask for it just adds another day. So at the point where they become that they don't need it, then I'll be like, okay, I'll give it back to them. But it's and even for us as adults, you'll find that you'll just be picking up, be like, what am I even picking up this phone for? Mm-hmm. We have to be intentional about detaching from some of this technology, because it has put some of us into a bondage type situation where we're always worried about what's going on out there in the world, when we got enough going on in our own household and lives to be attended to, that where we just so distracted. So I'll say that.
And then just to keep in mind the fact that when it comes to technology, you lose quality sleep. One of the things that I've learned over the years is that in order for me to get a peaceful night's sleep, I have to make sure everything is off. So like, even the little light, sometimes you have a night light in your room, or like the TV buzz in the background. Like I set the TV on a timer. Maybe you should do that with your kids as well. Make sure that, the TV goes off at a certain time. That's why you appreciate it about growing up in the 70s and 80s. It's like TV, listen, after midnight, the little bars came on, beep, TV done for the night. Okay. But it's true. I mean, just unplug and take the phone and put it in your room and charge where it can charge. Because once a child's mind is active, they're losing quality hours of sleep. And kids need, right now, they need like 6 to 8 hours. And I know children today, especially in the summertime, ain't getting no 6 hours of sleep at night. I mean, so,
and we see that with one of mine.
Yeah.
And one thing about me in the summer, I don't get too caught up in it, but they know on Saturday night in preparation for church, I'm not having it. Mm-hmm. Not having it. But we've encountered one of my twins. He literally pushes through to
look. He was like this. He was like this.
I'm sitting in the chair. I'm like, boy.
That was hilarious.
During the school year, definitely they do not have that technology and play games Monday through Thursday. It's not happening. Actually, and then on Sundays it's cut off by 6. So we definitely have a plan, but a lot more could be eliminated. But it is what it is.
Correct.
So again, our school year kicks off August the 10th, which means teachers, we go back a little bit before.
Right.
And we'll see what this up school year has in store for us. But again, at some point you just get tired of starting over. Mm-hmm. So it's just like we're just tired of always. We feel like since COVID, we just keep starting over. Mm-hmm. It's like that movie Groundhog Day. We just keep starting over, and some minute changes, and then we got to go back and start over again. It's like, give us. We have not had any reprieve, any time set aside, unless you intentionally took it to say enough is enough. That's why when they pass some paper saying you've been out for so many days, and what?
Right.
We need the mental health days, but you're gonna write the letter saying I took the day. What we doing?
This year I'm not gonna push through, because my problem is in all these years I never miss a day the entire first quarter, right? Or I think once the first semester. And so this year I'm going to stop pushing through. I've realized, especially since I'm feeling that these are my joints. When I woke up this morning, I cracked. Everything sounded like I was cracking up to get out of bed. I said, you know what I'm gonna do this year, instead of gonna having a bad day, and instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna push through the next day, I'm gonna push through to the week of that, I'm gonna do that just like the millennials do. Whenever if anybody slightly offend them, guess what I'm gonna do?
Well, not only the millennials, your friend right here next to you. I tell you all the time, girl, look, forget that job for the day. Yes. I'm cheering on me when you get back, because you'll be right here and stroked out. Yes. And then put your position up the next day, girl. Back.
And that's it. And this is the year of the $99 flights. So I'm just letting you know. This the year. Let me tell you, when that little notification thing pop up, bing, and it say, "Hey, April, it's
What we doing?
$99."
What we doing? But it has definitely been like it's so sad to say that I feel the year that we you know went through the initial COVID year, not with all the people dying, definitely not that. I feel that year was easier as it relates to teaching
Yes,
than this year.
yes, it
This
was.
year, them kids was
Ooh, wild.
they was molly whopping us daily, or maybe it was just me.
No, no.
Maybe I was only getting the molly, the whop, the beat, the down, the like stop.
And they were controlled by social media because
And then the parents like want to argue over stuff that don't
everything.
make sense.
The,
I'm like,
this was
my
the social
child
media year.
said
Hmm.
you did okay. Did you ask them what was happening when that was happening?
No.
Like, did you? And it's okay. Like, I don't go back and forth. As long as they, you could cuss, you care. As long as you don't call me the B or me the, all of that. You can vent. I get it. But sometimes step back and just take a moment to think about the child that you birthed.
Yes.
Because I only know them 10 months out of the year. When they arrive to me, they've already developed a sense of self. They've developed that. Now I might have a little bit of opportunity to mold some things, reposition some things. But when they arrive to me on August the 10th, that's the first day in their lives I have ever met them.
Correct.
I didn't do it. Now you can go back and get them teachers that didn't do what they need to do. But remember, don't say I didn't teach that. You're surely right, because I wasn't supposed to. What I'm supposed to be doing is developing that skill, diving down deeper with the rigor, but I can't because
you didn't get it back then.
So now I got to go back and figure that out. And now you mad because the homework. Yeah, I do homework Monday through Thursday. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Monday through Thursday, they got to have it.
Right. So just remember, parents, when they come to us, they're already fully formed, developed individuals who have been living in a household with some adults for 12, 13, 14, however many years. When they finally walk in my door, this is the first time I'm meeting them, but you know them your entire life. So you should be well aware of their habits, their hang-ups, their behavior, their attitude. You aware. So when I call you about it, it should be no surprise at all, because you're aware of who these people are. And that's all I got. That's it.
And July 1st approaches us very quickly, and the law is the law. And my pastor made a very took the opportunity to remind us that, even in the religious world, that he feels the need to make certain that the members and visitors are protected while they are there. So he said that he's having to install a gun detector, what you call it, metal detector. So that when individuals are entering the church, they should have no need to be bringing in a firearm. You should not need that. And not to think anybody would be doing anything malicious, just for the mere fact that guns go off.
Yes.
They go off, and bullets have no final destination, in most cases, besides the intent of aiming and going in a specific place. But, accidents happen. So we enter into a space on July 1st as an African-American woman, I will say, with African-American male family members, with a sense of urgency and anxiety that has already begun to develop, because I feel that we are going to be an unsafe people in regards to this, even more so than what the intent was. So, yes, we have the firearms, we ban them. It is what it is. But it's a matter of now saying you're going to have some people that have them that should not have them. Then what? We already see the calamity going on in our city, that receives very small snapshots of what's going on in the inner city. When we had, at one point, it was 15 shootings in a 2-week time frame, and it was like nothing really on the news about it, just very sporadic. And when it was like, okay, this happened, and it was a shooting, and that's it.
Yeah.
Where's the follow-up, the follow-through? What happened? Who did it? Da 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 da. I will say that HCSO is very big on providing the follow-up in that areas, but sometimes they're they have very lack of, whoever's doing it seems to have a lack of cultural responsibility, because when they present the information about, a lot of times African American and Hispanic individuals, they use very, intentional words that are derogatory.
Right.
But when they have it for the Caucasian individuals that were arrested, in a lot of cases, they use words that are not viewed as derogatory. They refer to the woman, the man, the. In those situations, they refer to the, the criminal, the.
The
And I
thug.
get it, but our own bias, some kind of seep in, and we don't pay attention to it. So if we took two articles, and we do it all the time behind the scenes, and these, when we take two individuals reporting on them being picked up, and the language is so indifferent.
It's different.
That's something that, our students to say, pay attention.
And the consequences are oftentimes different too. It's like one person going to jail for 20 years, the other one, okay, well, you got probation. Wait, what? Same, what is the same crime? Same crime. So,
my goodness.
Yep.
Well,
exactly. I don't have anything else to add.
Oh, me either. Outside of, we are in preparation for week 4,
Yep.
and the kids have had an opportunity to do some great exploration in their own city. A lot of times we have people come from all over the world to visit the many things that our children don't have the opportunity to partake in, because parents got to work, can't afford the high costs that go with it. It is what it is. So we want to make sure that the students that we have graced allow them to grace their presence with, that we make sure that we take them on a weekly field trip. So again, we're always accepting donations for snacks, chips, blah blah blah. Yes. Cereal we do every week. They love cereal.
And we're grateful for what we received.
They don't want the healthy stuff, so keep it. And again, stop by and you can see some of the great things that we're doing. We're at Exciting Faith Alive, the Enrichment Center on in Grant Park. And again, knock on the window, because we be hard at work. Won't do no sitting around in there. From the time they get there to the time they leave, we are on go. We have to, the parents sometimes have to drag them out of there. It's time to go, because they don't want to leave. And they're back every day, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So we appreciate those parents that have allowed us to bring services to their children. And for all those that have donated, the donations definitely do not go without being, a sense of gratitude for them, because a little bit goes a long way. So I appreciate that. And we're looking.
And we have books, by the way. We have
books.
Please, please. When we're giving our books to our children, please encourage them to read. We have books for parents too. When parents come in,
and you have
you read? Okay, now read this. Take this book. Because we want to make sure that households are filled with books, at least, somewhere along. Yes, you have a game controller. Yes, you have all this stuff like that. But where are the books? So make sure that, that you can come by and come get books too for your household. And it's important that every child goes home with books. So that's my plug.
And she has been piling them up. And again, we just want to say also thank you to, Erlisha, for definitely creating those connections, those necessary connections as it relates to families that needed to have this particular opportunity for their children this summer, and also connecting them with resources that are available out there in the community, to a place to where, she understands, what it takes in order to be a collective body serving our community. So, the hats, we make sure that they don't overlap, because we understand you got a job, girl. But one thing about it is, prior to that job, you were already serving in those capacities. So it's very important for all of those that know that, understand that, she been doing this, and it's not a smoke screen. We put in the work. We be tired.
Yes.
We be tired, y'all. Not tired. We
tired.
Tired at the end of the day. But we do it all because that's what God has told us to do.
Purpose. That's purpose.
That's it.
That's important.
We're doing it. We do it sometimes screaming and yelling and
hollering. With all these sore joints, but we
get up the next day and do it again.
Do it again.
And to thank you, Pastor Dr. Antonio Hawkins, for opening up your doors this summer to us, and again allowing us to bring forth these experiences for the children there. And we have a back to school bash at the church. You definitely have to sign up, because we're intentional about the who needs the resources and the age groups and so on and so forth. It is on July the 2nd.
Is it 29th?
The 20. Hold on.
The 29th.
July the 22nd. It's Saturday, July 22nd.
22nd. Okay.
And there's also an opportunity for parents to that have the space in their schedules to take their children to an event that's a religious youth event that's happening July 17th through the 21st. So again, you have to definitely take your child, or if you have a youth department at your church, the youth leaders can definitely partake in this as well. So we'll make sure it's posted on the page. But again, it's been a long summer already. Make sure that you take the opportunity to do something for someone else if God lays on your heart to do so, because again, can't take it with you, man.
Sure can't. I've never seen a U-Haul following a hearse.
Not look. Well, somebody probably have tried
because that's that greedy cousin. But we, that's outside that point. But still, right?
Right.
Bottom line is you can't take it with you.
You can't.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it's been real. We're glad that you all came on and chatted it up with us. And I have somebody screaming in the background saying, please check these cell phones.
Yes.
Which, the frolicker has evidently landed, and again, we definitely remind you all times to check the cell phones, and don't forget to always refer back to Teaching for the Culture's website, and on Facebook, because that's where a lot of the information is posted about events that we are a part of. So again, do your part.
That's it.
Be an intricate part in a voice in the community. If not, you're a part of the problem.
That's it.
This is April Cobb with April's Beauty Bar.
This is the Diva Carved Out Divas and Miss D. Reeves.
And we're Diversity and Equity and Education. And we want y'all to have a good week.
Night. Bye.
I can't with you, man. Did you snorkel?
Spirit fingers. That was good. Yay.